Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
The Illinois Supreme Court hears arguments over the Safety Act and its elimination of cash bail. The controversial law is on hold after prosecutors across the state called it unconstitutional.
A downtown Rockford fountain in need of repair could get an upgrade. City leaders consider turning it into a summertime attraction for kids.
And the field of contenders for the coolest thing made in Illinois is narrowed to 8. See the unique products from 2 local companies still in the running. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
Illinois' highest court is considering the fate of the state's controversial Safety Act.
The law that includes eliminating cash bail has been tied up in a court battle for months. Now the decision is officially in the state Supreme Court's hands. The 7 justices heard from both sides this morning. It's the first court action since a Kankakee County judge ruled in favor of state's attorneys late last year. They argued getting rid of cash bail is unconstitutional. A similar ruling from the Illinois Supreme Court would mean the end of the law. Attorney General Kwame Raoul believes justices will ultimately side with the state, especially when the state's attorneys are arguing the legislature is taking away judicial power.
The legislature still sets mandatory minimums and maximums, and that happens all the time. We don't put it up to referendum.
We're not usually on opposite sides of a case, but in this one, we feel very strongly that it's a serious public safety issue, but at the same time, we want to join in the fight towards reforming bail.
Governor J.B. Pritzker says he doesn't expect the High Court to overturn the law. A final ruling should come in a few weeks.
2 men are arrested accused of breaking into UPS drop boxes in Byron and Oregon. The thefts reportedly happened Monday. Oregon police say they got a tip describing a vehicle that was allegedly involved. Officers then stopped the vehicle on South 3rd Street. 30-year-old Egan Magnus of Rock Island is charged with methamphetamine possession, while 47-year-old Kevin Torrey of Plano, Texas, is charged with theft under $500 and possession of burglary tools. They both were taken to the Ogle County Jail.
Rockford's downtown Millennium Fountain could be turned into a whole different type of water attraction. The Splash Pad project is expected to cost about $500,000. It includes modernizing the fountain with new water pipes and utilities, landscaping, and sod restoration. Last night, the Finance and Personnel Committee approved a $107,000 contract with Vortex Aquatic Structures for splash pad equipment. Full City Council still needs to approve. Rockford's Public Works Director says the fountain wasn't designed with the type of water treatment system made for people to play in or otherwise use.
Was not originally permitted nor designed to be a true water feature, so it was just merely aesthetics. This new splash pad that we're modernizing will be allowed to, wade in, bathe in, not bathe, but wade in, play in. Play in's probably a better term. We don't want to bathe in it, and treat it as a true water feature. So it will be water to waste, but it will be more of an activated high efficiency water to waste. So obviously we're not wasting water resources.
The work will take place this summer and should be finished by August.
2 banks have shut down in the month of March so far, and it's leaving people questioning if they might be affected by the closings. We spoke with a local expert who says most people should be fine. That's because if you have money in the bank, it's more than likely covered by insurance. The FDIC insures accounts up to $250,000. It doesn't matter if you have separate accounts as long as each account is under the limit of insurance.
If you have under the FDIC limit in a banking institution, you are protected, right? So there's a lot of panic, a lot of worry about this, that, or whatever, but ultimately fear, 99% of the time, fear is false expectations appearing real. It's not going to materialize whatever you're afraid of, more often than not.
Ludwig also suggests everyone have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund for peace of mind.
Rockford's Booker Washington African American Resource Center receives a big donation. Hard Rock Casino presented the Court Street Center a check for $2,000. Booker is a nonprofit dedicated to providing services and programs to elevate young people in the state line. The money will pay for some of those programs.
We take the kids to service learning. We take them to the Rockford Rescue Mission so they can do a day of service learning where they may help them fold socks, pack lunches, and things of that nature. We take them to the UW for the same kind of functions. We ask them to interact with our seniors that we have here on campus, where they will serve them, usually during the MLK month.
The Resource Center directly serves about 10 to 20 kids a day. The quest to find the best thing made in Illinois is down to the Elite Eight, and 2 local businesses are still in the competition.
Our Nicole Delgado found out more about their unique products. Nicole, what'd you learn?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. It's coming down to the wire here. Both companies tell me that they're just happy to be with the Illinois Manufacturer Association competition.
We make the finest optics available to the amateur astronomer in the entire world.
The Astrophysics telescope made by Astrophysics in Machesney Park is in the running to be the coolest product made in Illinois. It's going head-to-head with a barbecue sauce made downstate. Business Administrator Karen Kristen tells me they're happy to represent the state line.
We were shocked to get into the top 16 and are really surprised to get into the top 8.
This is an Ingersoll Machine Tools' first time in Maker's Madness. This year, the Rosenberg Moon Habitat is facing off against a trash can.
We make a lot of cool things here at Ingersoll, but the project that we've submitted this year for one of the world's largest 3D printers is exceptionally amazing. And the fact that we were able to partner with the Rosenberg Institute and put forth which is the current design for the first lunar habitat.
CEO Dr. Jeffrey Arstrom says he's not surprised 2 area manufacturers are on the short list.
I'm happy that Ingersoll has gone forward, but there's some tough competition out here in Rockford. We have so many amazing manufacturers in the region, big things like we do, but also smaller things in that.
Both companies tell me they think people would be surprised at all the things made right here in the state line.
I hope that people find that you can still create.
Voting on the top 8 goes through March 19th. You can cast 1 vote each day for the coolest product made in Illinois, and that will be announced on the 29th. We have a link for the voting on our website, mystateline.com. Eric, Mimi?
Another insulin maker, Novo Nordisk, plans to slash the price of several insulin drugs by up to 75% in the U.S.
Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson shows us what this means for patients.
Novo Nordisk is the latest company to announce it is slashing the price of insulin by as much as 75%.
This is a critical step in the right direction. It's consistent with the president's call to action.
The White House celebrated the news and credited the pressure created by price caps included in last year's Inflation Reduction Act for people on Medicare.
It's a law that makes clear that the American people deserve and expect access to $35 insulin.
The move follows Eli Lilly's announcement earlier this month, capping monthly out-of-pocket insulin costs at $35. Each year, those changes could save hundreds of dollars for the 8 million Americans that depend on insulin.
People who need that insulin for their health, for their safety, for their lives can't afford it anymore. And this lowering of price is very important.
And Christine Link-Young with the White House predicts more companies will start dropping prices.
The president believes that if you call out unacceptable behavior, industry will respond.
The White House is still calling on Congress to pass legislation that would cap the cost across the board, something Missouri Republican Josh Hawley agrees with.
We ought to cap it right now for everybody, not just one insurance company, not just one pharma company, but for all of them.
Novo Nordisk says their price cut won't kick in until January of 2024. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from meteorologist Savannah Brito.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. Temperatures very cold yesterday, same with today. But check out our overnight lows. We fell to 16 in Rockford, 17 in DeKalb, 19 in Rochelle. Sterling was one of the warmer places overnight, 22. 11, that was our coolest temperature this morning in Galena. We did see things warm up a little bit. 32, we're still hovering at freezing level in Rockford. There's not a wind chill here. In a couple areas there are. Monroe feels like 24, even though the air temperature there is up to 30. Galena's temperature at 33 with a wind chill down to what feels like 29 degrees. Terry in Genoa, weather watcher, temperature recorded of 34 degrees. Humidity level, or the dew point actually should say, 19 degrees. Weather watcher Jim on the southwest side of Rockford, a dew point of 14, temperature of 36. So dew points are not close to our temperatures thanks to the sunshine. We don't have higher humidity levels for once out there this afternoon. We are seeing lots of clearing in the skies take place. That really happened overnight into this morning. Nothing but blue, beautiful picture over downtown Rockford above our Supply Corps camera that's sponsored by Window World. The clear skies are going to continue through the evening. We will see a few clouds pop up though. That'll be the case then overnight into early tomorrow morning. By about 6, 7, 8 a.m. though, we are going to see things clear out once again, so sunshine at least to start the early morning hours, but I do think clouds are going to be quick to rebound after that. We're going to turn quickly over to partly cloudy conditions and then mostly cloudy conditions then for the remainder of tomorrow night, and then ahead of Thursday's system. Showers do return to the forecast around lunchtime. This is about 12 p.m. for areas south of Rockford, also west with our latest model updates. I do think showers will be steady then for the next couple of hours at that point in time, so through the late afternoon, early evening hours, even somewhat into Friday with our falling temperatures though. I think we could see a few snow showers mix in with that, so kind of a rain-snow mix into early Friday morning. It will mainly start as rain for the majority of the state line though. Accumulating snow does stay north of here. I do think some snow showers will filter their way back in though behind that low pressure system and the cold front. That'll be the case on Saturday, drying up after that. So accumulating snow stays north of here. Severe weather chances stay southwest of here. So even this marginal and the generalized thunderstorm threat stays well southwest of our area. There is a slight risk. This is the day 3 outlook for Thursday. That does include areas in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then also Louisiana. Nothing here to worry about besides rain though, and then a transition over to that rain-snow mix. Winds will also kind of pick up, not so much overnight or tomorrow early in the morning, but after that we're going to see winds pick up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour. They'll increase to 30 though in some areas. It's kind of near our southern counties, so Lee County, DeKalb, and then perhaps Whiteside as well. It does stay pretty gusty out there then Wednesday night and then into Thursday as well. So really not taking everything besides tonight into consideration. We are talking about fairly windy conditions. This is our outlook for temperatures the 19th to the 23rd of the month, showing maybe a sign of slightly below normal temperatures or likely seeing normal temperatures. As far as precipitation goes, kind of the opposite of that. It does look like we'll see, or at least likely see, above normal precipitation pattern, wet pattern for out west of here though. So temperatures still will fall tonight, not as bad as yesterday though, to a low of 21 degrees, few clouds, but it is going to be another cool night out there. Our average nighttime low is 27, that's about 6 degrees cooler than that. 49 tomorrow, so temperatures do rebound back to above average. That's not how our pattern stays for long though, so that does stay a little bit on the warmer side of things on Wednesday, Thursday when our next chance of precipitation comes through. By Friday, though, temperatures are going to fall into the mid-30s, and then Mimi and Eric, we're talking about 29 for Saturday, but temperatures are going to be quick to rebound after that as well.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Well, the New York Jets could well become the Green Bay Packers of the AFC. They have landed one Packers free agent. They have a deal with receiver Allen Lazard. ESPN is reporting Lazard has a 4-year deal for $44 million. He's coming off the best season of his career. He set career highs with 60 receptions for 788 yards. He also caught 6 touchdown passes. Receiver was already a position of need for the Packers, and now it is more so. Lazard landing with the Jets means Aaron Rodgers is more likely to become a Jet. In fact, Rodgers has reportedly given the Jets a list of receivers he wants to play with if he becomes a Jet, and that list had included Lazard. It also includes Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis, and it includes Odell Beckham Jr., who is a friend of Rodgers. Yep, Rodgers to the Jets is likely to happen very soon. Bears GM Ryan Poles didn't reach a deal with any free agents today so far. Instead, he was at Northwestern's Pro Day getting a look at their All-American tackle Peter Skoronski. That's him there going through some position drills. Skoronski played left tackle for the Wildcats. The Bears could use help at both tackle spots. Skoronski could be there when the Bears pick 9th in the draft. Former NIU standout Jimmy Ward has a new home. He's agreed to a free agent deal with the Houston Texans. Ward has spent the past 9 seasons with the 49ers. He was their first-round draft pick in 2014. This is a big day at Harlem High School for one Husky senior. Two sports standout Grace Viborni signed with Rockford University. There she'll compete in both volleyball and women's basketball. She shined in both sports at Harlem. This season in basketball, she made the All-Nic 10 first team. Viborni even holds some school records in basketball at Harlem, including the best field goal percentage for a season and the most offensive rebounds in a game.
It makes me super excited knowing that I can develop my skills on and off the court, and I love the game so much, so it's an honor just to be able to play in my hometown too, so I get to have all my fans come and watch.
What about Rockford University sold you on it, that that's the place for you?
It really sold me on the fact that it's so close, and like their atmosphere is like it's family first, so I love that.
Well, good luck to Grace. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Tonight on America's fastest growing cable news network, new test of the water near East Palestine, and the results are shocking. What these tests show that raise big questions about what the EPA said about the water safety. Tonight on Balance. And the battle for the border.
The cartel controls everything that happens here.
American ranchers living in fear, no security, no protection. Where do they turn as the border crisis continues? A Cartels in America special report tonight on Cuomo. See why more people are turning to News Nation. To find News Nation, go to newsnationnow.com and click Channel Finder.
Didn't see anything besides sunshine on the interactive radar. No precipitation out there. Lots of blue to our skies. A few clouds will rebound overnight. I do think we'll see sunshine to start tomorrow off, but clouds will be quick to increase yet again. Wednesday's high will be close to the 50-degree mark. Temperatures do fall from there on out the rest of the week, especially by the weekend on Saturday. We'll be down to 29, but temperatures rebound to 39 by Sunday.
Sunshine makes a big difference. All right, thanks, Savannah.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.